Hello boys and girls. In this video we're going to discuss about how to solve a simple linear equation that is having one variable. Okay. So with one variable. In mathematics, in algebra, what is a variable? Variable is something that is not known to us. Okay. Whose value can vary from problem to problem. Okay, say for example, x is a variable, a is a variable, b is a variable. So all of these are variables that we usually refer in algebra. Okay, so how do we solve? First of all, what is a equation? Equation is something that has an equal to symbol. Equal to symbol. For example, I take 3x plus 5 is equal to 8. See here, there is an equal to symbol here. On the left side, there are some quantities. On the left side, there is an expression that is having an unknown variable, that is x. Unknown value, that is x. On the right side, we have a constant 8, and this expression is equated to some value. That is why we put an equal to symbol. So this is a basic linear equation, and this is a linear equation. Why? Because the power of x is 1. Okay, it should never, the power of unknown value should never exceed more than 1. Okay, should always be 1. Then only we call it as a linear equation. Okay, if it becomes x squared, then it becomes a quadratic equation. So if the power of x is 1, then it is a linear equation. Okay, so how do we solve it? Okay, so let's take some examples and then we'll see how we solve these basic linear equations that is having one variable. Okay, let us solve this one. So 3x plus 5 is equal to 8. This is a linear equation. This is a linear equation with one variable because there is only one variable, that is x in this case. And this is a linear equation because the power of x is 1. And this is an equation because there is an equal to symbol. And this expression on the left side is equated to some value. Okay. So this is meeting all the conditions that are required for a linear equation with one variable. Okay. So let us try to solve it. Okay. When you're solving, the very first step is you try to bring all the unknown terms, all the terms that are having unknown variables, unknown quantities in it, onto the one side, and the terms in this case is 3x is one term, 5 is another term, 8 is a term. Okay, 3x plus 5 is an expression on the left side. This part to the left of the is equal to symbol is called LHS, left hand side, and the part that is on the right side of equal to symbol is the right hand side. Okay, RHS and LHS. This part is called LHS and this part is called RHS. And this whole part is an expression. And this is overall, this is an equation. Okay, so let us try to solve this linear equation having a variable x in it. Okay, so the very first step is the terms that are having unknown quantity in it, you should try to bring all of them onto the one side. That's your choice. You can either bring all of them to left side, all the terms that are having unknown quantities in it, you bring all of them to left side, on the terms that are having known quantities to the right side. Okay, yeah, that's up to your choice. If you want to bring all the unknown terms to the left side or right side, that's your choice. You can do it either way, but only thing is you bring all the unknown quantities to one side and all the known quantities to the other side. Okay, so let us try to solve this one. So what is the known quantities here? The known quantities are 5, 8 is a known quantity, like these are the terms that are known to us, and 3x is a term that is not known to us because there is an x in it. Okay, this 3x is a term. Okay, the very first step is that you bring all the known quantities to the right side. Okay, so what is the known quantities? 8 is already on the right side, and here we have a plus 5. If you take plus 5 to the other side of equal to symbol, it becomes minus 5. Okay, on the left side we still have a 3x as it is. Okay, so there is no change in it. the 3x is still at the left side only. Now the next step is that you simplify the quantity, simplify the expression on the both the left side and also on the right side. On the left side there is nothing to simplify here, it's already 3x. On the right side, if you simplify 8 minus 5, it becomes 3. Okay, and the next step is that you take the value of 3 here, you take this to the other side of the equal to symbol, then it becomes, since it is a multiplying here on the left side, if it goes to the other side of the equal to symbol, it becomes a division. X is equal to 3 by 3, 3 by 3, that equal to 1. Okay, so the value of x in this case is 1. When you solve this equation, you got a value of x as a 1. X is equal to 1. Okay, this is how you have to solve it. Okay, one important thing, when you're taking this 5 to the other side, why don't you bring this 5 to the other side? That is a very obvious question. Because 3 is something that is multiplying only x. Only x. Okay, it is not multiplying the whole, it is not multiplying the entire left hand portion. Instead, it is only multiplying x. In such case, you should not take 3 at this step, in this step. Okay, because 3 is only multiplying x, which is not the only term on the left side. That is why you should not take a 3 in this step to the other side. Instead, you can take plus 5 to the other side, because the plus 5 is something that is adding up to the entire left side portion. In this equation, the left side portion is 3x plus 5, and plus 5 is adding it up to the entire left side part. So that is why you can take plus 5 to the other side. Whereas if you see here, 3 is something that you can take it to the other side at this step. Okay, so if you move from this step to this step, 3 you can take it to the other side. Why? Because 3 is something that is multiplying the whole left side portion. The left side portion is x. Okay, so 3 is something that is multiplying the left side portion. That is why you can take a 3 to the other side. Okay, now when you simplify it, you got a value of x as a 1. Okay, so let's take some more examples like this and try to solve it. For example, the next example is 2x plus 5 is equal to 7x minus 8. Okay, the very first step, you bring all the unknown terms into one side and all the known terms to the other side. So in this case, what are the unknown terms? 2x and 7x is the unknown terms. You bring both of them to the one side. That's your choice. You can bring both of them to the left side or to the right side. Either way is fine. There should not be any problem. Okay. Okay. Now you bring 2x is already here and you try to bring 7x to this side. Okay. Because it is a plus 7x, then you bring the whole term to this left side, it became a minus 7x. But on the right side, you still have a minus 8. It is not 8. Okay. The symbol that is in front of 8 is still there. Okay. So, when you move from this step to this step, you brought all the terms to the left side. Okay. And there is also one known term here, that is plus 5. In the next step, you take this plus 5 to the other side, because this is a known quantity. On the right side, you already have one known quantity. You already have one known quantity. So from the next step, you have to take plus 5 to the other side of the equal to symbol. When you do that, 2x is still there and minus 7x is still be here on the left side. Equal to is here, minus 8, and plus 5 when you take to the other side of the equal to symbol, it becomes minus 5. Now you simplify these expressions on both the left side and right side. It is possible to simplify because on the left side you have only the x terms, the terms that are having x in it. On the right side you have terms that are having constants in it. So it's easy to simplify. So when you simplify 2x minus 7x, you will get minus 5x. Okay. On the right side, when you simplify minus 8 minus 5, you will get minus 13. Okay. Okay, when you further simplify x, so the whole purpose of this equation is to find out the value of x. At the end, you will get an answer something like x is equal to so and so quantity, so and so value that is known to us. Okay, so in the very next step, you have to take minus 5 to the other side of it equal to symbol. Okay, because minus 5 is something that is multiplying x on the left side. Minus 13 by minus 5, which is equal to 13 by 5, because minus by minus is equal to plus, so that way both the minus gets cancelled and x is equal to 13 by 5. Okay, that is an improper fraction, and if you convert it into mixed, it becomes 2 3 by 5. Okay, so whenever you write answer, if you get it in a improper fraction, you try to put it in mixed fraction, because mixed fraction is something that gives a very good sense, like it has something like whose value, in this case the value of x will be somewhere between 2 and 3. Okay, yeah. So this is another type of a linear equation that is having one variable. What is the variable here? X is a variable here that is not known to us, and when we simplify further down, we got to know the value of x. Okay, and this is an equation because there is an equal to symbol. This is a linear equation because the power of x is 1. Okay, power of x is 1. Fine, yeah, let's take one more example. Okay, so 3 into 2x plus 5 is equal to x plus 5. Let's try to solve this one. So again, in this case, we have to expand this left side portion, because 3 is something that is multiplying 2x plus 5, the entire 2x plus 5, that is why we have to expand it. When you expand this one, you will get 3 2s are 6x plus 3 5s are 15. On the right side, we still have a x plus 5. Okay, in the next step, what you have to do is you bring all the terms that are having x in it to the one side, and all the terms that are having constants to the other side. Okay, so previously we brought all x terms to the left side. In this case, we'll bring it to the right side. Either way, it is fine. Yeah, either way you can do it. There should not be any problem. Okay, so now plus 6x, we have it here on the left side. In the next step, you take this plus xx to the other side of it equal to symbol. When you do that, it becomes x plus 5 here, and plus 6x becomes a minus 6x, and plus 15 is still remain here. Okay, so on the right side, what do we have? We have a term that is having x in it, and we have another term that is having x in it. Okay, what is the constant term on the right side? Plus 5. Okay, the constant term, you should try to bring it to the left side, because we already have 15 here on the left side. As you go along, you should try to bring all the terms that are having x to the one side and all the terms that are having the constants to the other side. Once you get to that stage, and then you simplify that. Okay, the next step, plus 5 we have here, this is plus 5. If you bring it to the other side of the equal symbol, it becomes 15 minus 5. 15 minus 5. On the right side, we still have x minus 6x. Okay, now it's easy to simplify, because on the right side we have only the terms that are having x in it. On the left side we have the terms that are having constants in it. 15 minus 5 equal to 10, and on the right side x minus 6x is equal to minus 5x. 1x minus 6x. When you simplify it, you will get minus 5x. So the value of x will be 10 by minus 5, because the minus 5 is something that is multiplying x. If you take minus 5 to the other side, it's going to divide 10 and by minus 5. Okay, now the value of x will be plus 10 by minus 5. Plus by minus will be minus. Plus by plus is plus, plus by minus is minus, minus by plus is minus, minus by minus is plus. Okay, so plus by minus is minus, 10 by 5, it goes in 2 times, so minus 2. So this is an answer, x is equal to minus 2. In other way, you can also write x is equal to, same thing you can write this way. Yeah, x is equal to minus 2. Okay, so this is the answer. So we have seen the different varieties of problems, varieties of linear equations that are having one variable in it. What is the variable again? X is a variable, and we are calling it as a linear equation because the power of x is 1. Okay, it should not be x square, it should not be x cube, it should not be x to the power of 4 or anything like that. And there is only one variable. There is only one variable. So that is why solving a linear equation with one variable in it. Okay, let's try to see one more example. Two x plus 5 is equal to 7y. Okay, can we solve this one? Can we solve it? First of all, is this a linear equation with one variable? How many variables we have here? We have x and we have y. There are two variables. There are two unknown quantities. Okay, so we cannot solve this problem. There is only one equation, but there are two variables. In order to solve two variables, we need two equations. That is why with a single equation, this is single equation. The single equation, we cannot find out the value. We cannot find out the values of two variables. Okay, so that is why it is not possible. We cannot do this one. Okay, yes. X plus 5x plus 8 is equal to 9. Okay, is this linear equation? Yes, it is a linear equation because it has only one variable, that is x, and the power of x is 1. The power of x is 1 and there is an equal to symbol here in this equation. Yeah, so it's possible. Okay, this is a linear equation having one variable. We can do that. Okay, so how do we do that? Again, you try to bring all the variables, all the terms that are having variables in it to the one side and all the terms that are having constants in it to the other side. So in this case, we have x plus 5x are the terms. X is the term that is having a variable and 5x is another term that is having a variable in it. You leave these two terms on the left side and you take this constant plus 8 to the other side, so that you will have all the known quantities. In this case, the known quantities are 9 and 8. Okay, 9 and 8. You brought all the known quantities to the right side and you left all the unknown terms that are having unknown values, unknown variables on the left side. Okay, when you further simplify it, 9 minus 8 becomes a 1. On the left side, x plus 5x becomes 6x. Okay, and when you further simplify, because 6 is a multiplying here, if you take it to the other side of equal symbol, it becomes a division, 1 by 6. This is the answer. Okay, yeah. Okay, there are also word problems. Word problems also can be asked. Yeah, and we'll see some of the word problems using this same technique, solving a linear equation with one variable. Okay, so I have a question something like this. Sum of two consecutive numbers is 21. What are those numbers? What are those numbers? Yeah, okay. The sum of two consecutive numbers is 21. What are those numbers? Okay, this is the question. This is the word problem, and we have to solve it using the techniques that we discussed previously. The very first thing we have to do is that when such a word problems are asked, you have to translate this given sum, given word conditions or given statements into an equation. Okay. So in this case, the sum of two consecutive numbers. What are the consecutive numbers? For example, 10 is one number. The next number is 11. Those two are consecutive numbers. Say if you take a number of number 20, 20 and 21 are consecutive numbers. Similarly, 7 and 8 are consecutive numbers. So 7 is one number, and when you add 1 to the 7, you got a 8. So that's why you got a two consecutive numbers. So the question here is, the statement given here is sum of two consecutive numbers. So one of them you can consider as an x. One of those consecutive numbers is x. What will be the next term? What will be the what will be the next number? The next number is x plus 1 will be the next number. Okay. So this is one number. This is one number, and the other number is x plus 1. Okay. So these two are consecutive numbers. Why? Because if you see the difference between x and x plus 1, the difference is 1. If you subtract x from x plus 1, we'll get 1. Okay. So for example, I said 7 and 8 are consecutive numbers. Why they are consecutive numbers? Because the difference of these two numbers, 8 minus 7 is 1. Okay. That's why they are consecutive numbers. So in this case, I thought x is one of the numbers and x plus 1 will be the consecutive number to x. Okay. These two are the consecutive numbers. And what is the other condition? The sum of two consecutive numbers is 21. How do we get a sum of these two? These are two terms. X is 1 and x plus 1 is another one. Okay. So when you add these two, x plus 1, when I add these two, what is the condition? The sum of two consecutive numbers is 21. I shall get 21. Okay. Yeah. Now we got a linear equation that is having one variable in it. What is the variable? The variable is x. Variable is x. And there is an equal to symbol here, and the power of x is 1. Power of x is 1. So we can solve this one. So again, you try to bring the terms that are having variables in it to one side of equal to symbol, and the terms that are having constants in it to the other side of the equal to symbol. In this case, x plus x, x is one term and x is another term. Both are having x in it. Okay, you leave this x plus x here on the left side. You take plus 1 to the other side of the equal to symbol. When you take plus 1 to the other side, it becomes a minus 1. Minus 1. Okay, plus if it goes to the other side, it becomes minus. Minus if it goes to the other side, it becomes plus. Similarly, multiplication into, if it goes to the other side, it becomes a division. And a division on one side, if it goes to the other side, it becomes a multiplication. Okay, fine. Yeah, and now you simplify it. X plus x is 2x, and 21 minus 1 is 20. Isn't it? X plus x is 2x. 1x plus 1x is 2x. If there is nothing here, you can treat it as a 1x. 1x plus 1x is 2x. If you further simplify, now you can take 2 to the other side. Okay. Yeah. X is equal to 20 by 2, which is equal to 10. It goes in 10 times. X is equal to 10. Now, what are those numbers? Okay, that's not the answer. What are those numbers? Okay, so at the beginning, we assumed that x is the one number and x plus 1 is the another number. Okay, so what did we get? We got x as a 10. Okay, so x as 10 here, and x plus 1 will be, when you add 1 to x, say you put a value of x as 10. 10 plus 1 is equal to 11. Okay, so this is one number and this is another number. 10 and 11 are the two numbers. When you add these two, you will get an answer of 21. Here, the sum is 21. isn't it? 10 plus 11 is 21. So we got those numbers. Yeah, that's how written problems can be asked. The very first thing is you have to try to read that one few times and translate that into an equation. Equation is because there is a is here, is or anything. So equal to is 21. The sum of two consecutive numbers. This is one number and this is another number. These two are consecutive in nature because the difference of those two numbers is 1. That is why we add up those two numbers on the left side and that we equated to 21. That's how we built our equation. That's a linear equation having one variable, and when we solved it, we got to know the value of x, and from there we reduced those two consecutive numbers. Okay, say I'm going to ask the product of two consecutive numbers is 21. Instead of sum, I'm going to ask a product of two consecutive numbers is 21. Let us see if we can solve using this linear equation with one variable. The same techniques whatever we discussed so far. Can we solve it? Let's try to see. Previously, we thought x is one number and x plus 1 is the consecutive number to it. Let's try to see the product of those two numbers. X into x plus 1 equal to 21. Isn't it? X into x plus 1 is 21. Because earlier I said the sum of those two numbers, sum of the two consecutive numbers is 21. This time I am saying the product of two consecutive numbers. Okay. So the product, because it is a product, I put a multiplication between x and x plus 1. Okay. So when I further simplify it, when I further expand this one, on the left side you will get x into x square plus x into 1 x equal to 21. Okay. Now, is it a linear equation? Is it a linear equation with one variable? Okay, of course it has one variable because there is only x. But is this a linear equation? Because what is the maximum power of x? We have x, the power of x is 1. The power of x here in this term is 2. That is why it is not a linear equation. That is why it is not a linear equation. Instead, it becomes a quadratic equation. Solving quadratic equation is something that we'll see in subsequent videos. Okay. So this is, we produced an equation, but that is not meeting the criteria to become a linear equation. Okay. Fine. And one more word problem we'll see. Sum of ages of two siblings. Sum of ages of two siblings is 26. Sum of ages of two siblings is 26. Okay. That is one thing. That is one condition. And the other condition is those two siblings are 2 years apart. Those two siblings are having the age difference of 2 or something like that. Age difference of 2. Okay. So they have a age difference of 2. Say for example, you can take younger sibling, the age of younger sibling as x, or you can take a y. Yeah, all this time we are using only x as an unknown quantity. Not only x, you can use a y also as you can also y to represent something that is not known to us. Okay, so the age of younger sibling is y, and the age of the elder sibling will be what? The elder one, the sum of the sibling. The two siblings are having age difference of 2. Okay, the elder one's age difference will be y plus 2. Y plus 2. Okay, so this is age of a younger one, this is age of a elder one. So what is the condition? The first condition, sum of ages of two siblings is 26. So when you add these two, you get 26. You will get 26. Okay, y plus 2. This is this one. Y plus 2 is this one. Is equal to 26. Okay, so we produce a linear equation that is having one variable and the power of that variable is 1. Okay, now we can do that. Yeah, so we have a constant, we have some known quantity on the left side, we take it to the other side because we already have one known quantity on the right side. We take plus 2 to the other side of a equal to symbol, it becomes a minus 2, and on the left side we are left with y plus y. Okay, so when you further simplify, y plus y is 2y. On the right side, 26 minus 2 is 24. And in the next step, y equal to 2, if it goes to the other side, it becomes a division by 2. Because it is multiplying here, on the left side it is multiplying y. If it goes to the other side, it becomes a division. 24 by 2 is 12. Y is equal to 12. Okay. So this is not the answer, this is not the final answer, but what we got is the age of a younger sibling is 12. Okay, so what will be the age of elder sibling? You have to add a 2 to it because the other condition, the age difference of those two siblings is 2. Okay, so if you consider 12 is the age of a younger one, the age of the elder one will be 12 plus 2, which will be 14. Okay, so 12 and 14 are the ages of those two siblings. Okay, yeah, the trickier part is that how we produce this equation, how we derive this equation. That's a trickier part. Once you get to this stage, it's fairly simple to further simplify it and find the value of the unknown quantity. In this case, the unknown quantity is y. Okay, yeah, that's how the word problems will be asked, and they'll be very simple because there are no square terms here. There is the unknown quantity, but the power of that unknown quantity is 1. So that is why it is a linear equation. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it, and we have discussed the various kinds of problems that can be asked. Yeah, I think we discussed everything. Before we wind it up, let's try to solve one more sum. C into a plus 4 minus 5 into a minus 1 is equal to 9a minus 5. Okay, so this is the linear equation having a variable a in it and the power of a is 1. Nowhere it exceeded the power of a more than 1. Okay, everywhere the power of a is only 1. Here 1, here 1, here 1. Okay, again we stick to our basics. You try to expand wherever there is a possibility. You try to expand the terms and bring all the terms that are having a variable in it to one side and take all the terms that are having constants to the other side. Okay, so we should try to expand it here. 3 into a, 3a, plus 3 into 4, 12, minus 5 into a, minus 5a, minus 5 into minus 1 is plus 5, minus into minus plus. Again, I am putting plus into plus is plus, plus into minus is minus, minus into plus is minus, minus into minus is plus. Okay, this is one side. Another one, plus divided by plus is equal to plus, plus divided by minus is minus, minus divided by plus is minus, minus divided by minus is plus. Okay, this is another side. When it comes to multiplication, These are the rules that we should remember when it comes to multiplication. These are the four rules that we should remember. Okay, minus 5 into minus 1 is plus 5. Minus 5 into plus a. Okay, if there is nothing here, we should consider it has having a symbol plus. Minus 5 into plus a is minus 5a. Similarly, plus 3 into plus 4. Plus into plus, plus. We got a plus here. Plus 12. Okay, so now we expanded it. Expanded the left side portion. On the right side, we have 9a minus 5. Okay. On the next step, we have terms. On the left side, we have terms that are having unknown quantities. We are also having the terms that are having known constants. 12 is a constant, 5 is a constant. Similarly, on the right side, we have a term that is having unknown quantity in it, and we also have a term that is a known quantity in it. So you try to rearrange such a way that you bring all the terms that are having unknown quantities to left side and the terms that are having known quantities to the right side. So 3a is a term that is having unknown, and minus 5a is something that is having unknown quantity in it. Okay, these two we leave it on the left side, and plus 9a is here. Plus 9a here on the right side. If you take it to the left side, it becomes minus 9a. Okay, equal to, on the right side we still have a minus 5, and these terms plus 2 and plus 5 we should take it to the right side, because we decided to bring all the terms that are having unknown quantities to the left side and the terms that are having known quantities to the right side. Plus 12, if you take it to the other side, it becomes minus 12, and plus 5, if you take it to the other side, it becomes a minus 5. Okay, now we are having the terms that are having unknown quantities on the left side. We are having the terms that are having constants on the right side. Okay, now it's easy to simplify because all these terms are having a variable a in it. Okay, 3a minus 5a is minus 2a. Okay, I'll give one more step here. 3a minus 5a is minus 2a, and minus 9a here as it is. And minus 5 minus 12 is minus 17. Minus 5 minus 12 is minus 17, and minus 5 is still here. If you further simplify, minus 2a minus 9a becomes minus 11a, and minus 17 minus 5 becomes minus 22. Minus 22. Okay. Now the value of a will be a is equal to minus 22. Here minus 11 is multiplying a. Minus 11 is multiplying a. If you take it to the other side, it becomes a division. Divided by minus 11. Minus by minus, what is that? Minus divided by minus is plus. Okay, so we can consider this is the positive value, and it goes in 2 times. So it's 2. E is 2. Okay, yeah. In this equation, the unknown quantity is a. Okay, so previously we discussed some equations which are having unknown quantities like x or y, and in this sum we have unknown quantity y. So what are the steps involved? The first is expansion. In this case, we expanded it. If there is any expansion required, we do that expansion. And the next step is rearrangement. Rearrange the terms. Rearrangement of terms. Okay, rearrange the terms such that you bring all the terms that are having unknown quantity to one side and all the terms that are having known quantities to the other side. Okay, so the third step is simplify those terms. Simplify those terms. So here at this step we got all the unknown quantities on the left side, all the known quantities on the right side. What did we do after that? After that we simplified it because all these terms are having a in it. So we simplified it and we got a minus 11a. On the right side we have these known quantities. When we simplified all of them, we got a minus 22. Simplify. And then the very last step is just find out the value of unknown quantity. If there is something that is multiplying unknown quantity, you take it to the other side. Okay, if further simplification or just the last step is find out. Find out the value of unknown. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There are only four steps. If you remember, one is the expansion. Expansion is need not be there in all the sums. For example, if I give 2x plus 5 is equal to 8, is there a need for any expansion? Is there any bracket to expand? There is no bracket, right? Yeah, so that step can be skipped. There is no expansion here. Expansion, it may be there, it may not be there. In this case, we need to expand it because there is a bracket here and we need to expand it. Okay, it's not necessary that you need to do expansion in all the sums. This is also a linear equation having a variable x in it, but there is no need for expansion because there is no bracket. The next step is rearrange the terms. In this case, if you have to rearrange, you leave the term that is having x on the left side and you take all the constants to the right side and then simplify. On the right side, you simplify. Let's quickly do it. 2x, 8 minus 5, because plus 5, if it goes to the other side, it becomes minus 5. Okay, and then when I simplify, 8 minus 5 is 3, here it is 2x, and then finally just finding out the value of unknown by taking the multiplying and the number that is multiplying unknown quantity to the other side. 3 divided by 2, x is equal to 3 divided by 2. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's very simple, and this is the basis for solving the equations that are having two unknown quantities in it, for example x and y, and solving the equations that are having the power of those variables as a 2, 3 and all. Okay, in this case we have power of a is 1, so it became a linear equation. If the power of unknown quantity becomes 2, then it becomes a quadratic equation. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, these are the some fundamental rules that we have to remember. Plus into plus is plus, plus into minus is minus, minus into plus is. These are basis of algebra. Okay, basis of algebra. Yeah, plus into plus is plus, plus into minus minus, minus into plus is minus, minus into minus is plus. Similarly, if it goes to division, if both are the same symbols, you will get a plus. In both these cases, here and here also, both are same. Whenever you have both same symbols, you will get a plus. Okay, that's the easiest way to remember. Whenever you have both same symbols, you got a plus. See here also minus, minus divided by minus. Both are same. That's why you got a plus. And if there are opposite symbols, you're getting a minus here. That's a simple way to remember this. Alright, yeah, we'll stop here. That's all about solving a linear equation that is having one variable in it. Thank you.